Welcome to Kaldheim Day 6 of Spoilers. Before we get into going over the cards, I just wanted to go and ask if you please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and on this video. You could also find me on twitch.tv/Jarvis_Moonbeam, and you could also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jarvis_Moonbeam. In addition to that, my Discord is in the description of the video below. Feel free to go and jump in there and join us in any discussions going forward. But without further ado, let's go and get into these cards. So the first card today is Elder Fang Disciple. It's 1 and a black. It's a 1/1 elf cleric. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. This could possibly see play in Standard if someone is really going heavy into the discard theme, but more often than not, it's probably just going to go and be a limited card. Probably not going to see too much play past that. Code Spell Cleric. It's a single white for a 1/1 human cleric, Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, if it was the second spell you cast this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. This one actually interests me quite a bit when it comes to Standard, because if it was your second spell you cast this turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. With it being a 1-drop, especially in the Selesnya Encounters deck, it's very easy for this to be the second spell. So that could be a potential in that deck. I think it might have better options in the 1 spot still, but I think you can see play there. It's definitely going to be a limited play. I don't really see it seeing play anywhere past those 2 formats, though. Raider's Carve. It's a 3 generic mana for an artifact vehicle that's a 4/4. When it attacks, look at the top part of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield attack. And it has Crew 3. I really like this because I like that it ramps you in a artifact. It also lets you essentially scry so you know what's coming up later on. Do I think it's going to see play? Probably not, because I don't know how viable vehicles are going to be. And one that just ramps you and it takes you until turn 4, essentially, in Standard to get that ramp might not be worth it. But I just think it's a lot of fun, and that Viking ship is badass. Giant Ox is 1 and a white. It is a creature ox. That's 0/6. You may use its toughness to crew vehicles rather than its power. This would see play if someone is going and playing a vehicles deck in Commander, but we're really going to see play if someone's playing a vehicles deck in Standard or Historic. There are enough vehicles that it is becoming more and more of a possibility for that to happen, but this could go and crew like the Parhelion 2 by itself. And it's a 1 ox. I could see it seeing play if someone really is trying to go and meme with a vehicles deck. I don't think it's going to see competitive play though. Mammoth Growth. It's 2 and a green. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. And it's an instant that has Foretell for a single green. It is going to see standard play. As of now, I'm not standard play, it's going to see limited play. As of now, in Standard and Historic, people don't tend to concentrate on the combat tricks. That could change with Foretell being a thing because you don't know what's going to happen. But going based off everything, it's not going to see play. Demonic Lightning. It's 2 and a green. It deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. And has Foretell for a single red. It's also an instant. Yeah, this is going to be played. Just because it's 1 more mana than Stomp. Well, actually, yeah, 1 more mana than Stomp. You play it out over 2 separate turns. It gets rid of a lot of the problem creatures in the format, other than like Lovestruck Beast or Elder Garderoth, and it's 4 damage. So I think you'll see quite a bit of play. Maybe not main board, but definitely sideboard. Demon Fire Rune, 4 and 2 black. It is a Demon Berserker that's a 6/6. that has flying, and when it enters the battlefield, search your library for 2 cards with different names not named at Demon Fire Room. If you do, reveal those cards. An opponent chooses one of them. Put that card into your hand, and the other into your graveyard, and then shuffle your library. I think that this card will see a lot of Commander play. It's not the easiest card to go and play around. Just you have to have one go to your graveyard, the other one to your hand. But there are plenty of ways in Commander that you could go and get stuff back out of your graveyard. A Kalia deck that wants demons, any other demon deck, I don't see why you wouldn't want to play this in it. I don't know if it's going to see play out of those style of decks. I don't think it's going to see play in just like a traditional mono black deck, like a mono black good stuff deck. I don't think it's going to see there. But I think it's going to go and see quite a bit of play other places. Standard, I don't think it's a standard play. And it's 1 minute less than the Sultai Ultimatum, Immersion Ultimatum. That doesn't see really any play. I know that's more color restrictive. I just don't think it's worth tutoring. And again, tutors don't seem like they're really meant for standard, at least where standard is right now. Run Amok, 1 and a red. It's an instant. Target attacking creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. Yeah, it's not going to be played. Nothing more to say about it. Crush the Weak, 2 and a red. It deals 2 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile instead. Foretell red. The biggest problem with this card is that it is a sorcery. If it wasn't a sorcery, it'd probably be mainboarded. Even with it being a sorcery, I think you can see this in the sideboard for decks like rogues, elves, and goblins. If you're playing black, you're going to play Cry of the Carnarium. If you're not, you could also play Cinderplasm instead. I still think that this card might not be very good, but it's still very much a sideboard card that you will see, and you might have to end up playing around it in the future. Starnheim Unleashed, 2 and 2 white. You create a 4/4 white angel warrior creature token with flying and vigilance. If this spell is foretold, create X of those tokens instead, and the foretell cost is X, X, and a white. So this card is awful. Amiria's Call only sees play because it is a land. It's an MDFC. If that was an MDFC, that wouldn't see play at all. It also then goes and makes your creatures indestructible. This doesn't help your other creatures out. This card will not see any play at all in any type of serious deck. It might see play in Commander for someone that just cares about keeping an angel or a warrior tribal theme. Even then, I think that there are cards that will be much better uses of their time. Dual Strike is 2 red. It's an instant. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell with a CMC 4 or less this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. It has foretell for a single red. Copy spells. Copy spells don't happen in Standard or Historic that often. It could be another Commander card, just with all the cards that like to see copies, like Dualcaster Mage, people making clones with like Sakushima. So I can see these seeing play. It could actually end up being a lot of fun that way, but I just don't see it being a standard card. Bound in Gold is 2 and a red. Yeah, I'm sorry, 2 and a white. It's an enchantment aura that you enchant permanent. Enchanted permanent can't attack, block, or crew vehicles, and its activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. It's a beefed up pacifism. Pacifisms are by far one of my favorite cards to go and draft in limited formats. I like this card a lot. This card is going to see play. It's going to be a lot of fun to see play in Limited. It could even end up, if vehicle decks end up taking off, this will be a sideboard card. If vehicle decks don't take off, it's not going to be a sideboard card. But we'll see where it goes. Basalt Ravager, 3 and a red. It's a giant wizard. It's a 4/2. It enters the battlefield. It deals X damage to any target, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have a creature type in common. What has been happening is we've been seeing more and more and more giants. This could see play in a giant tribal deck if there's enough synergy there. I'm still of the opinion that giant tribal might be a little bit too slow, especially when it looks like giants are in its colors. But you never know what's going to see play. Depending if you could go and draft synergy in tribal or get a good seal pool in tribal, this could be a limited card. Because even 1 damage is a payoff for a 4/2 for 4. So I think they'll see play in limited for sure, possibly standard. Frostpire Arcanist, 4 and a blue. It costs 1 less to cast if you control a giant or a wizard, and it itself is a giant wizard. And it's a 2/5. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for an instant or sorcery with the same name as a card in your graveyard. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. I think that this could see play. Especially giant tribal. I could see instant or sorcery. Getting an instant or sorcery that's in your graveyard. Getting a counter spell when you know you're going to need it in the future. Get a kill spell if you know you're going to need it in the future. I think it'll see play. Probably not commander unless someone's doing a giant tribal commander deck or wizard tribal. But definitely in other formats. Weathered Runestone is a 2 mana artifact. Non-land permanents cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. This is a better Grafdigger's Cage. Grafdigger's Cage only stops creatures. It doesn't stop you from, and that's only casting. This goes and stops them completely. This will see sideboard play. It is going to go and take over Grafdigger's Cage spot in sideboards. In standard and historic. It could be a hate piece that sees play in commander. It could see play in other formats as well. We'll see what happens there. But this shuts down Croxa, it shuts down Uro. It shuts down any other version of Escape, Flashback, all of that stuff. It just stops it. Dread Ryder is a 5 and a black. 1 and a black. And it's a Spirit Knight that's a 3/7. For 1 and a black, tap it, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Target opponent loses 3 life. I think the horse looks cool. Other than that, I don't think it's going to see play in any type of constructor format. It will probably be a top end in limited because it is a good late game card. Because in limited, a lot of times what happens is when you're at the 6 mana, you can't get through walls and people are just sitting there land pass or land spell pass, not actually trying to attack. This lets you go and tap it and still get damage through it, especially if you have creatures in your graveyard. So it could see play there. But past that, I don't really think so. Rapacious Hawk is 1 and a blue. Flying. Snow creature bird for a 1/2. For a single snow, you tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. I don't think I would even play this in limited. I don't like filtering that way through my deck. It might see play. It's not going to see play in standard though, or historic. Smashing Success. It's a 3 and a red instant. Destroy target artifact or land. If an artifact is destroyed this way, create a treasure token. So, when it comes to artifact removal, I want it to go and be of a 1 or 2 mana variety. Shredded Sails or like Wilt. I don't want it to cost 4 mana. And it does destroy a single land, but I don't think it's worth it. Even if you say you destroy an artifact and you get that single treasure back, I don't think that's worth it either. I don't know if this could really see play anywhere. I'm not a fan of it at all. Shepherd of the Cosmos, 4 and 2 white. It's an angel warrior that's a 3/3, has flying, and when it enters the battlefield, return target permanent with CMC 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. As Foretell, 3 and a white. Yeah, it'll see play. Angels, warriors, tribal. Any of those, if you're doing tribal deck, it'll see play in there. It could see play in standard. It could see play in historic. Those would have to be certain decks that this is just a one, probably no more than a 2 of. But I do see it seeing play quite a bit. Infernal Pet for 2 and a black. When you cast your second spell each turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on Infernal Pet. It gains flying until end of turn. It is a creature imp. It's probably just a limited card, nothing else. And that ends the cards for today. How do you think these cards are? What was your favorite card? Was I right? Was I wrong? Let me know. But that's where I'm going to end this video for now. Have a great day.